last time when we met you created the opinion writing piece?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was on?
Cats are better than dogs.
Right, and who were you writing to?
My mother.
Your mother.
My mother.
Right, and what were you trying to convince her?
To get me another cat.
Because cats were better than dogs, huh?
Yeah.
And you did a really good job writing that. And as I'm sure you've learned, though, there's always room for improvement, right? So today, we're going to work on revising your letter. And I'm going to teach you how to add detailed and vivid reasons to your writing piece. So you want to have lots of details, because the more details you have, the easier it is for the reader to picture what you're saying and what you're writing about, and the easier it is then to convince the reader to go to your side. So if you have more details, your mom's going to say, wow, she's right. We do need another cat.
She would never do that.
Well, we can try.
She said maybe because my friend, her cat had kittens, and I might be able to have one.
There you go. See, you never know. All right.
Pee, pee, pee.
We're going to listen to this online book here. And we're going to listen for some vivid details. Okay?
The Perfect Pet by Margie Cullen.
It was quiet.
It's okay, as long as you can hear it.
Elizabeth really, really, really wanted a pet. Her parents really, really, really did not. They gave her a plant instead. Mind you, it was a very good-looking plant, as the cactus plants go, and it had quite a prickly sense of humor. Elizabeth.
Did you hear what the author wrote in there? He said they have a prickly sense of humor. The author could have just wrote, he had a sense of humor. But instead, he added prickly. Can you imagine that? It's really detailed. It really makes you think of a cactus because he's prickly. Let's keep listening.
Rick.
Elizabeth named it Carolyn, which seemed to suit it just fine. It was absolutely no trouble, and it was a very good listener. Snuggling was a bit of a challenge. However, Elizabeth did manage a quick hug now and then.
There, the author wrote a quick hug. Instead of just writing, I gave her a hug, she said a quick hug, so we know it's quick. It's not a big old bear hug. So we can really picture what kind of hug it was in our minds.
Elizabeth really, really did like the plant, but she still really, really, really wanted a pet. And she had a plan. The element of surprise. So how about a horse? Huh? What? Who? Said father. Who? What? Huh? Said mother. I could ride it, give it carrots, lumps of sugar. A horse would be the perfect pet. What do you say? Father yawned. A horse is too big. Mother sighed. Our yard is too small. Why, it would eat us out of house and home, said father. A horse is not quite perfect, dear, said mother, going back to sleep. Not quite perfect, said father sleepily. Scratch.
Did you hear that there? The author wrote that the father said it sleepily. Instead of just saying, the father said this, the author said, the father said this sleepily. So you can imagine how he said it. How do you say something whenever you're sleepy? Like, oh yeah.
Let me go to bed.
Right, you say it like you're ready to go to bed, drawn out, so we can really picture there what the author was trying to say to us, because they used really detail and vivid examples, and that's what I want you to do in your writing. So, we're going to do one together first. One way that you can add details into your writing is through the 5 W's. That's what we call it. 5 W's. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's who, what, where,
Oh,
when,
now I
and
know.
why. I knew you'd know.
When I
So-
was like last year, there's this thing called reading eggs. It taught me about that, and every time I would hear, I'm like,
Right.
I would always do
So
that.
you know, and that's one way you can add details to your writing. So we're going to do this one. I'm going to model this one to you, and then we'll do one together. So who is in this picture? Spotted giraffe.
Striped zebra.
Right, there you go. That'd be
Uh-huh.
What does it look like? Let's see if you can use lots of details.
I don't know what it looks like.
And you don't even have to write it if you don't want to. You can just tell me what it looks like if you want. What does it look like? If I had to describe it, I would say it looks like chocolate frosting with fudge in the middle.
Yeah.
Brown yummy cake. That's a good way to describe it because you put brown instead of just saying it was a cake.
Yeah.
What do you think it would smell like? Can you imagine cake? What do you think it would smell like?
I'm not judging his opinion.
You don't have to write it if you want to. Unless you want
It would smell like chocolate sunrise.
to. Chocolate sunrise. That's a good way to describe it. What about taste? I know you can do this one.
Chocolate stuff like chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding.
What do you think it would feel like if you touch it?
Squishy.
Squishy. That's a good way to describe it. See all those words?
Do I still have to do
Squishy. Chocolatey. No, we don't. Those are all good ways to describe it, to add details to your writing.
math? I want my tablet now.
We're almost done, and you can work for your tablet.
I have an apple.
Remember, when you're writing an opinion piece, you want to include lots of strong, vivid words and details. That way we can convince your mother to get you a cat.
You took out.
So when you're adding details into your writing, you can use strategies such as the 5 W's, the who, what, where,
Why?
when, and why, or your 5 senses. And it's also important to remember that adding these details,
He's watching Fairy Odd Parents.
No, I'm not.
You were.
remember that you can use these strategies in any type of writing. It doesn't have to be just opinion. It can be in narratives or informative, so you can take these strategies and you can use them in your classroom.
Yay.
You can impress your teacher. Now, I want you to use one of these strategies, the 5 W's or your 5 senses, or you can use both if you'd like, to revise the
Are you
letter.
the only one doing this?
What do you mean?
Is your whole class doing
My
this?
whole class is doing this, yeah.
So they each have a kid.
They each have a kid, you're very right. So I want you to use this, remember when you
So
wrote
I'm
this?
lucky.
You're lucky?
I'm lucky.
I know, I chose you.
Yay.
I want you to use this and revise it and use one of these graphic organizers. You can use the 5 W's or the 5 senses and try to change at least 3 words or sentences to make them detailed and vivid so your mom can really picture what you're trying to say, okay?
I'm just going to add one more sentence. Oh.
Which graphic organizer do you think you're going to use? The 5 W's? And remember, you only have to change, you just have to change at least 3
I'm
to
really,
make it more detailed.
I can only change 2.
I think you can do 3.
I don't get the what.
That's okay. Whenever you're looking at these,
Can I do 2 of these and 1 of this?
yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can use both of them. I just put these here so you can use for graphics, and you can edit them on here and then add it into your paper here.
There.
So, for example, when you said dogs are rough and cats are soft, what other way could you describe that?
Cats are cute and dogs are sleepy.
I'll give you an example. If I said something was hard, like this table was hard, I could say this table was hard as a rock.
And your hair is soft like a kitten.
Like a kitten, see? There you go, that's adding details. So if you could change 3 things on here and use these graphic organizers,
I can.
I want you to add details into the sentences you already have. Well, let's see if we can add a couple more.
Hey, you said 3?
What about this? Let's keep working hard. We're almost done. What about this bark? You said dogs bark.
Bark.
Look at our graphic organizers. You think we could use one of these here to describe bark in more detail?
I don't know. No.
What about smell? Can you smell bark?
No.
What about taste? Can you taste a bark? What about hear? Can you hear a bark?
Yeah.
There you go. So you could add more details to that. What did the bark sound like? What did you hear? What kind of barks are they?
I'm just gonna put it on the back.
There you go. That's some good describing words. You think you can find something else in here on your own and try to use one of the graphic
I did
organizers
it
to change it?
twice.
I think you can do it one more time. I know you're smart. I want you to try to find one on your own and change it. And you can look at these. That's good. So that would be what they feel like. What does Fluffy feel like?
Like that?
Like my hair?
Yeah.
Nice and soft and fluffy. So they're so cute. And you said that they're fluffy. And what they're fluffy, is that what makes them cute? Because they're fluffy.
Wait, I forgot the fluffy design.
I think you can change one more thing. And then we're almost done. You think you could change one more thing in here to add more details? Because I really want you to convince your mom. What about this?
They're man's best friends. And what about girls?
And what about girls? What do I see? One more that I bet you can
Hey.
make dogs snore.
Loudly.
There you go. That's a good way to add some
I like
details.
how to dodge words. There.
So can you read? We're almost done. Almost. We have a couple more things I want to go over. Can you read some of the things that you changed to me?
So, dogs snore loudly.
And what did you have before? You just had
Dogs
dogs.
snore.
Yeah.
And their man best friend. And what about girls? And I think cats are so cute and so fluffy.
What did you have before that?
I think cats are cute.
Right. So you added some more detail to describe.
Dogs bark loud, crazy, weird, stupid.
There you go. That's a good describing word.
And they smell like fart and stinky shoes.
And what did you have before that? You just had they smell.
They smell like fart.
But you had they smell like stinky shoes. That's a really good way to describe it.
And they smell like poo-poo.
So did you use any of these strategies, the 5 senses or the 5 W's, when you
I
wrote those details in?
Kinda no.
No, you don't think so? What about fluffy?
Yeah, that's that.
That's something you could touch.
There.
Or smelly shoes. That's something you could smell. So you did use these and you didn't even realize it. So you did a really good job working to add details in today. Guess what we're going to do next time?
What?
We're going to work on editing this so we can make it perfect. So then we can give it to your mom.
And I want to make it a book.
We can make it into
book.
we can make it into a book,
Yay.
and then we can send it to a letter to your mom. And we'll see if you convince her. You think you can?
Yeah, and I'll be someone else.
Nice job.
Mrs.